Senators, we have gathered here today to discuss the reintroduction of the Glass-Steagall Act. I strongly advise you to vote in negation of the bill due to these reasons. First of all, the financial services we have are already under control. And second of all, breaking up banks is useless due to the fact that the risk will just spread to smaller banks. The banks that we already have are much safer due to post-crisis reforms. According to Robert Nichols, the president and CEO of the Financial Services Forum, due to industry-initiated improvements, laws passed by Congress, and regulatory changes, new progress has been made to increase the safety, soundness, and stability of the U.S. financial sector. Now, balance sheets are more solid, risk management and governance structures have been improved, and lately the bank has passed living wills to the regulators, which gives all the important details of the bank and their emergency protocol. My second point is that breaking up banks is useless due to the fact that the risk will just spread to smaller banks. According to Paul Krugman, breaking up big banks wouldn't really solve our problems because it's perfectly possible to have a financial crisis that takes the form of smaller banks. In the 1930s, many small banks collapsed, and the Federal Reserve thought it was okay and dismissed it. But in reality, the fall of these smaller banks caused a catastrophe for the wider economy. In conclusion, Senators, I strongly advise that we vote in negation of this bill due to the risky effects it entails. Thank you, and I'm now open to questions.
Okay, that was 1 minute 55 seconds. Question? Ivy? Tejas, question? Tejas?
No, I don't have a question.
Okay, so Senator, why do you think that the risk will spread to smaller banks?
Well, first of all, by breaking up bigger banks, the risk will not go anywhere else but the smaller banks. It has nowhere else to go.
Yeah, but don't you think that when we make these banks too big to fail, we are putting the whole world economy in danger?
Well, according to Paul Krugman, even if we break up the bigger banks, the financial crisis will still take the form of smaller banks.
Yeah, but smaller banks, the consumers' deposits are secured by the government, whereas the bigger banks are not.
Can you repeat your
The
question?
deposits of a regular customer in a smaller commercial bank is secured by a government, FDIC, is it called FDIC? But in bigger banks it is not. So the smaller banks will still not fail, or still not will put people in danger, regular customers in danger, because those deposits are secured by FDIC.
Well, I agree with your idea, but there is still a possibility that it could affect the smaller banks and the wider economy.
Okay.
How do you feel about the fact that because these two types of banking are together, that banks can use people's hard-earned money to make investments?
Well, I feel that that statement is incorrect because the breaking up of bigger banks will just lead the money to go to smaller banks, which could endanger the wider economy.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, last debater is online. Tejas, Senator Bansal.
Can you guys hear me?
Hang on.
Yeah?
Greg, get ready.
But can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.